cannot say that we are just eliminating the corrosion or we are just preventing the corrosion, but just we are preferring or we are trying our level best to control the corrosion. We are trying to control the corrosion. And how this control can be done? Control can be done only by modifying the designs, by using different kind of substances, chemicals which are acting as a coating films on it, and that's how you can also minimize the corrosion. So corrosion is one of the major thing that also is one of the topic which is of important discussion and concern in today's life. So take care of the materials during designing, and that will definitely increase the lifetime of the materials. Next question. Let us see the question 7. You can see here very clearly question 7a. Explain ion exchange process for converting hard water to soft water. Okay, this is for the 5 marks. Question 7b. Write chemical reaction properties and uses of following compounds: polyvinyl chloride, neoprene rubber. And the question 7c, it is electrotyping, again carries the 4 marks. So you can see 5, 5, 4. Okay, so this is the weightage of the question. According to the weightage, you are supposed to write down the answers. If it is a 5 mark question, it is from our side, it is must that we have to explain the entire process of ion exchange in the detail. Let us try to understand that. See the diagram. Actually there are 2 towers. You can see very clearly. You have to first represent the things in the form of the diagram. So what is the diagram? Explain ion exchange process for converting hard water to the soft water. So diagram is actually showing you the 2 tower. One is cation exchange bed and another is anion exchange bed. Okay, these are the 2 exchangers, cation exchanger and anion exchanger. So what happens? You are passing your hard water from first tower. Then what happens? Your water becomes acidic. It will have the low pH, right? Whenever you are treating it in the cation exchanger bed, what happens is the water becomes acidic. So we are trying to make it neutral by passing it through the anion exchange tower. Okay, that is bed. So let us, this diagram is somewhat the description of the entire process. Let us understand the process. It consists of, it means ion exchange process. Ion exchange process consists of 2 cylindrical towers which are of the consisting of 2 types of resins, that is cation exchanger resin and another is anion exchanger resin. Cation exchanger resins are capable of exchanging cations of hard water by H+ ions, and anion exchanger resins are capable of exchanging anions of hard water by OH- ions. Okay, so it is very clear in the mind that cation exchanger, the name itself is, it is exchanging the cations of the hard water. What are the cations? Calcium and magnesium. They are replaced by H+ ions. Okay, and anions are actually, anion exchangers are capable of exchanging anions of the hard water by OH- ions. That is shown here in the tower itself. See the next thing. After passing through both the exchanger towers, we are going to finally get the soft water. Okay, exhausted cation exchange resins can be regenerated. Now see, there are chances that this tower gets exhausted, okay, after certain type of the time. So what happens? Certain time limit is reached and the entire tower gets exhausted. So it is our side, we have to regenerate the tower in order to increase its efficiency again. So we will pass dilute HCl in the first tower to regenerate the cation exchanger resin. Okay, it is something regenerating the resin. So this one has to remember. Exhausted anion exchanger resin can be regenerated by passing dilute alkaline solution like NaOH or KOH in second tower. Okay, this one has to remember. So how you can generate cation? By passing HCl. And how you can generate anion? By passing NaOH or KOH in second tower. So this is actually the regeneration process that one has to remember. So what is the summary? You can see here the diagrams. we are passing the hard water, okay, that is consisting of calcium and magnesium ions, and from that hard water what we are doing, we are passing it first through cation exchanger bed, where what will happen in the cation exchanger bed, our cations of the hard water will get exchanged by H plus ions, and in anion exchanger bed our anions of the hard water will get replaced by OH minus ions. Finally, we are going to get the soft water by passing through both cation and anion exchange resin. And what happens, suppose if your cation exchanger tower gets exhausted, then you can regenerate it by passing through dilute HCl. And suppose if your anion exchanger tower gets exhausted, then you can just regenerate it by passing through NaOH or KOH in the second tower. Let us try to take the next question, that is question 7b. Write chemical equation properties uses of the following compounds. You can see here it carries 5 marks. Again, there are 2 subparts in this question. What they have asked, write the chemical equation. Okay, they have asked for chemical equation. They have asked for properties and uses. You can see chemical equation for PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride. You can see the properties that is given here. PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride, is colorless, odorless and non-inflammable. Okay, it is resistant to chemicals, it has excellent oil resistance, it is acting as good insulator and waterproof. Okay, so that is very important thing. You know that PVC pipes are available, so PVC is actually a good insulator and it is a waterproof material. PVC is colorless, odorless, non-inflammable, resistant to chemicals, excellent oil resistance is there. Let us try to take the application, that is uses of the PVC. So what are the uses? PVC is used to make drainage pipes and water supply pipes. It is used to make car applications, in upholstery, bathroom curtains, ladies purses, handbags. Okay, so these are the applications where it is used. It is used to make raincoats, shoes, as it is waterproof. Very important application of the PVC is to make the raincoats and shoes, as it is waterproof. We can see here neoprene rubber properties. It is resistant to mineral oil and high temperature. It has greater solubility in polar solvent. It has high tensile strength. Its resistance to oil is superior than natural rubber. So these is actually the properties of neoprene rubber. So it is resistance to mineral oil and high temperature, good solubility, or you can say greater solubility in the polar solvent. It has high tensile strength. It is resistance to oil is superior as compared to the natural rubber. This is important property. We can see the neoprene rubber uses. It is used for wire and cable insulation, in tubing for carrying corrosive gases, as adhesives, in shoe sole preparation. So neoprene rubber is having something different use. You can see the shoe soles, okay, as an adhesive, in a tubing for carrying corrosive gases, and as an insulator. This rubber finds the most important application. This question is divided in 2 subparts, that is PVC part and neoprene rubber part. When you are completing the entire answer, then only you are ensuring your 5 marks, okay, for this particular answer. The next question, the question 7c, explain electroplating. Principle of this method is electrolysis. Okay, very important. Electroplating, electro-refining, all these things are very important short notes that one has to remember clearly by the concept. Principle of this method used is electrolysis. Now what actually we are doing in electrotyping, okay, letters required to be printed is embossed on block of the wax. You can see here in the diagram, see here very clearly the diagram of the electroplating is seen here. There is copper sulfate solution that is acting as your electrolyte. Okay, then what we are doing, letters to be printed, you can say here letters to be printed is embossed on block of the wax. Then graphite powder is sprayed on it to make the conducting. See the diagram. There is graphite powder which is sprayed on the surface to make it a conducting. Okay, so this is the second step. This wax block is connected as cathode and block of copper is connected as anode. Okay, so you can see the diagram here. This block of wax given, okay, it is connected as your cathode and the block of copper is connected as your anode. You can see here very clearly copper block, okay, that is given on something this side. You can say left side, the copper block given is connected as your anode, and you can see here the wax block is connected as the cathode, and our electrolyte is the copper sulfate solution. Okay, so this is just steps for that. What is the next thing that we are going to do is, see here, as it works on the principle of electrolysis, what happens? We are passing electricity. Now when we pass the electricity, then what happen? Copper later gets deposited on block of the wax. So what happens here? Copper later is, you can see here, copper later gets deposited on the block of the wax. So what happens? Finally this block is then kept on tin sheet and heated to remove wax and graphite. Okay, so this is again a very important thing. This finally gives fine copper block for printing. So finally they are just heating the entire block on the tin sheet and just to remove the wax and graphite, and finally we will get the fine copper block that is used for the printing. So what are the steps? Let us try to see here. Electrotyping process, you can see here very clearly it works on the principle of the electrolysis, and electrolysis, you are all aware what is the process. So we have to first draw the diagram. This diagram, just have a glance very clearly. You have the two blocks, there is a electrolyte solution, then the letters to be printed. Okay, you can just see the process here. The letters required to be printed is embossed on the block of wax, then graphite powder is sprayed on it and made conducting. This wax block is connected as cathode. Okay, see here. Okay, and copper block is connected as a anode. Copper solution, electrolyte, copper sulfate is actually acting as your electrolyte. Okay, then what happens here? You are passing the current, you are passing electricity. Copper later gets deposited on block of wax, and this block is then kept on the tin sheet and heated to remove wax and graphite. This finally gives copper block for printing. Okay, so this one has to remember in a very proper way. Again we have to ensure very clearly. Now let me just summarize certain things in this particular question paper. We have taken in the entire session today GTU Summer Exam 2013 question paper on applied science chemistry with the entire solution in this session. Okay, we have covered all the answers of all the questions. Suppose anything is asked to you in the words of explain or describe or write the description, write the construction, write the working, draw the figure, solve the numerical, solve the blank, solve the objective type of questions. For that reason we have covered all the examples with particular questions in this session. Okay, so for that I request you to refer the entire things. If it is the objective question, you have to see the marks and then you have to write the answer. If it is subjective question, again you have to see, you have to restrict your words to certain limit. It is not like that you people are just writing and writing the long answers and then you say that we have written so much of pages but we are not given the marks. It is the content that matters and not the length, or you can say not the pages that matters in the examination. Be very limited. Just write down the required scientific points. Do not overwrite the things. Don't write the same things again and again. If you are writing something definition or if you are explaining something, don't repeat the points again in your short note. That will not give you any extra mark. take care of all the things before leaving the examination hall. Just check the paper, write all the topics in a very systematical way, just write clearly, solve the numericals with the steps, solve the numericals with the answers given in the units at the end. Unit of the numerical is very important, that you are supposed to write when you end the paper. Okay, whenever you are solving the filling the blanks, just straightway write the answer. Do not show any method or do not show any sum. If they are asking 1 mark of objective numerical, then do not show any method, straightway write the answer. But if they are asking the numerical for 4 marks, you are supposed to show the method. Okay, so that is very important. If you are writing the construction, you are supposed to draw the diagram very clearly in this, and construction actually will give you the idea about what you are going to write down in the theory content. Your diagram speaks more clearly than your words. Okay, so in construction your diagram should be such a skillful diagram that everyone should get an idea from the diagram that whatever you want to convey from it. Label the diagram well, use proper pencils, do not draw the diagrams with the pen, and make sure that you are remembering each and every concept. Suppose for example, you can say that in electroplating type of concepts, you have to remember what is acting as anode, what is acting as cathode. You cannot show, generally students do this type of mistake, that anode is shown in cathode, cathode is shown in anode. So that is totally wrong. That will not give you any mark, even though you are writing entire theory in correct way, but your diagram is wrong, where you are showing that anode as a cathode and cathode as a anode, then there is no chance of getting any marks. Your answer will be straightway given wrong. Do not overwrite things, write the things in a very clear manner, use scientific words. Okay, and before leaving the examination hall, please read the question paper and your answer sheet both equally well. Check whether you have attempted all the questions in the proper sequence, or whether you have attempted all questions without forgetting anything, and check your answers too, so that if you find any mistakes, you can correct the paper mistakes in the paper itself before leaving the examination hall. I am sure this all things will help you lot to guide to write the paper well. I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for being with us.